And welcome to another episode of the Joe Flow Sports Show. I have another great prediction and picks for our upcoming schedule of NFL games, which we are already in week 3. But before I do jump into give you my picks and scores of each game this week, feels good to say that, how terrible the Bears look Monday night. Listen. I know I ripped my Packers hard. They did highly deserved it. But now it's time to rip on the Bears because they're clearly a franchise that's not going anywhere anytime soon. The funny thing is, though, in 2 games, Bears fans and, listen to the radio, AM talk shows, a lot of people are already giving up on the season. Now I understand, they have 6 starters that are injured this week. And probably are not, most of them aren't going to play. Actually, all of them aren't going to play this week. So I know it's going to be tough, but, 2 games, guys. Everybody, you guys are rushing to conclusions way too fast. They are a terrible team. I think Hoyer is going to surprise the people as a backup quarterback. I think that was a better pickup from the Bears this year. He's obviously not your long-term starting quarterback, but at least he should somewhat stabilize the passing game, especially with the 2 big wideouts that you still have in Alshon Jeffrey and in Kevin White, who's yet to prove anything, but still has the size to catch any ball that is thrown his way. Really, who needs to step up is Jeremy Langford. He hasn't really played too well the last 2 games, and I've been telling people, my man from Indiana Hoosiers, Jordan Howard, is going to eventually be the starting running back of the Chicago Bears. Like I said, I see it happening within like week 7 or 8. It could be even sooner now. Excuse me. So good luck to Jordan, and I hope he does end up becoming the starting running back for the Chicago Bears. So let's get into the week 3 NFL schedule, all the games and all the picks that I have for you today. And we're going to start off tonight with a pretty big game. 2 undefeated teams. The Houston Texans are visiting the New England Patriots. Patriots are playing with their 3rd starting quarterback. So, with that being said, I do like Houston winning this game in a close one, 24-21. But if Bill Belichick can pull something, make this quarterback play out of his mind, there's no denying he's probably the greatest coach of all time in NFL football. So, move on to the Sunday games. We're going to first talk about the Baltimore Ravens visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Baltimore is a 2-0 team, but I think they're probably the weakest 2-0 team entering Week 3 of football this year. Jacksonville's probably the strongest 0-2 team. So I definitely, going back home, I like Blake Bortles to get on track. Allen Robinson had a little sluggish 2 games, so I see him getting right back on track. Even though he's questionable this week, he does have an illness. I do like Jacksonville winning this one. Kind of a high-scoring game. I see them winning 28-24. We have NFC East showdown with the Washington Redskins visiting the New York Giants. The Giants are 2-0. Washington's 0-2. With that being said, I do like Eli Manning and the Giants to bounce back from a sluggish 16-13 victory last week against New Orleans Saints. Excuse me. And I do like this one to be a defensive game as well. I like this score to be 17-13, the New York Giants. We have the Detroit Lions visiting my Green Bay Packers. I like to call this game the sure game of the week because I believe for sure that the Green Bay Packers are going to win this game and going to win this game by 14. To me, it's a statement game, not for the rest of the NFL, but in our own division. Especially with Adrian Peterson going to be out probably for the rest of the year. So that, again, opens the door for us to take over that first place in the North. And I know it's the Detroit Lions, but they've been playing us well the last 2 years. But I'm sure Rodgers is getting sick of all the critics, talking about him, all the analysts and journalists asking him all these questions. is how come he hasn't been playing to his potential, and I think we're going to see it this week. I like him throwing for 3 touchdowns this week. And I like us winning the game. I think we're going to finally get on the board here and start scoring some points. 31-17. I think we're going to win by 14. We have the Cleveland Browns visiting the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins came off of a heartbreak loss to New England. I mean, I know they were down by 21 points, but they gave a hell of an effort in the second half to make the game competitive and interesting. It is the Cleveland Browns, probably the worst team in the NFL right now. Chicago Bears are right behind them. I do like the Miami Dolphins to win this week to get on the board for their first win in the season. I like them winning 24-17. We have the Minnesota Vikings going to the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers got a big win last week. They needed it to get it back on track. And honestly, Minnesota got a big win beating the Green Bay Packers last week. With that being said, though, it's going to be a hostile environment in Carolina. And I like the Carolina Panthers to win this one pretty heavily, 34-20. We have the Denver Broncos visiting the Cincinnati Bengals. Denver's definitely got the #1 defense in football right now. This is a true road test for them, though, playing Cincinnati Bengals, who just came off a tough loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I definitely like Cincinnati bouncing back and giving Denver their first loss of the year. It's definitely going to be a defensive game because these are the two strengths of both these teams. And I like this game to be 21-17, Cincinnati. We have the Arizona Cardinals visiting the Buffalo Bills. And been a struggle up north in Buffalo, and I see that this week again. I like Arizona to go in there and score a lot of points to win this game, 31-21, to improve to 2-1, and at least say it, Rex Ryan's probably looking out the door after this week. We have the Oakland Raiders visiting the Tennessee Titans. That's a tough matchup. Actually, I think it's a pretty intriguing matchup. Oakland's got a really good offense, but their defense has been struggling, and Marcus Mariota got a big win in the Tennessee Titans over in Detroit last week. So I like with that being said, though, I do like Oakland Raiders. I think their offense is too strong and too many weapons, and I like them to win this game 24-17. We have the Los Angeles Rams finally got it right this week and didn't say St. Louis. They are visiting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and unfortunately, that was one of my upset picks was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week, but they got tromped by almost 40 to Arizona. With that being said, though, I do like Tampa Bay to bounce back this week at home and get a mild sliver of a victory, winning by 3, 27-24. We have the San Francisco 49ers visiting the Seattle Seahawks in a tough NFC West showdown. Seattle's yet to score an offensive touchdown, but I think that's going to change this week, and Russell Wilson's going to make sure that happens, and I like Seattle winning this game 24-17. We have a big game. It's a Pennsylvania matchup. The Pittsburgh Steelers visiting the Philadelphia Eagles, who came off a very nice victory over the Chicago Bears, and Carson Wentz is looking tough, and I see him playing well this week again. But this is his true first test because they played the Cleveland Browns in Week 1 and the trash Chicago Bears in Week 2. So I definitely like the Pittsburgh Steelers, to me the best team in football overall right now, and they're still Le'Veon Bell's about to come off his 4-game suspension. So I do like Pittsburgh going in there and winning that game 27-21. We have the New York Jets visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. I call this an upset pick if you want. This is my upset pick of the week because I do like the New York Jets to go into Kansas City and get the tough victory. I see them winning this game in a tough defensive battle, 21-17. Matt Forte's been playing great football, and I see him scoring another touchdown this week, another rushing touchdown this week. We have the San Diego Chargers visiting the Indianapolis Colts. To me, two pretty terrible defenses, so I definitely see this a high-scoring game. I do like the Colts to bounce back after a tough game in Denver last week. I like this one to be a high-scoring game, and I see an Indianapolis Colts winning this game 31-28. We have the Sunday night game between the Chicago Bears, and they are visiting the Dallas Cowboys. Now, originally, if they had all their pieces, I think Chicago Bears would have went into Dallas and won that game because they always play very well in Dallas. But it's going to be a struggle. They don't have the depth in any position right now. And by the way, to me, that's what bothers me about the Chicago Bears organization. One, they're not a good drafting franchise, and they haven't been for a very long time. They go in and try to get their pieces through trades and free agency, which has shown not to work. So that's why they don't have any depth in offense or defense. So I do like Dallas and Dak Prescott, who's been very impressive as a rookie as well with him and Carson Wentz. I like Dallas winning this game pretty heavily, 31. I see them winning 31-20 this week. We have our Monday nighter, our last game of week 3. We have the Atlanta Falcons visiting the New Orleans Saints, and I like, to me, once again, it's going to be a high-scoring game, I believe. Tough matchup, though. It's a NFC South showdown. These guys play each other tough every year. I do like New Orleans winning this game 28-24. So yeah, those are your week 3 picks of this week and my predictions. So thanks again for listening, viewing, subscribing to the Joe Flo Sports Show. And thank you guys for watching. Stay sporty, my friends.